You still got it? It was wild right after we recorded that. I think it was Sunday where everybody was sharing like the anniversary we did with the Back Fun, like 19 years or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had the literally just asked them the very next morning to see them sharing. Yo, welcome back. Return of the Mac. M.A.C. Moss and you Carl back in the building for episode 135.
We back.
What's poppin'?
What's happening, fellas?
Shit, we are putting the work in this weekend. That's what's happening.
We really have, bro. I feel like we just did this.
Yeah, for sure. I just seen you motherfuckers. This is normally not so soon.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Still in pod mode, though.
Yeah,
For sure.
We got a lot of shit to get to.
I feel more
shit to
tuned
talk
up
about.
for this episode.
Right.
Like we got a little practice run in.
Yeah, something like
Exactly.
that.
So we haven't said nothing to y'all yet just until we had officially got everything recorded. But we recorded a special episode with G.I. Wonder, a second interview with them this past Saturday. So we've got that coming on the way within the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned. We'll be getting more info out on that.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to them boys, man.
Yes, sir.
It was a good time, man.
It was.
It was a good time.
It was.
Nice little treat for y'all. A little new setting and everything.
Yeah.
Something nice.
for
Nice little
visuals.
treat. Yeah.
As soon as
should
we
be
left,
real nice.
I was trying to run through, all right, so how do we easily just record at Carl's house every time?
Right.
That basement setup was fine. It really was nice.
So, you know, we can flip flop. We can do something different, but I gotta get some decorations or something on the walls, bro.
Yeah.
We can figure something out. We might have to talk about this.
Yeah.
What else for the
Set up
week?
something
What else?
temporary or something.
Some Kodak to offset the Steelers.
Oh, you know it's gonna happen. You already know it's going to happen.
Big Glee poster, you know.
Maybe we just do it here, yeah.
Don't
worry about it.
It's a lot of work.
No.
What else y'all get into this past week?
What happened with this week? Oh, wasn't my first work week back? It was cool. Pretty laid back. Wasn't nothing crazy.
Getting back in the swing of the early morning hours and stuff, wasn't it,
Back
Payne?
into the mode. Like, the more I work this job, I be realizing, this job is kind of easy as shit. Like, it's really not that bad. Like, it be some ups and downs sometimes, but it's not really that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a good
Days be a
perspective to
breeze. Yeah, days be a breeze. You get to it, knock it out of there by 2. Got the rest of my day.
Yeah, that
If
is.
you can get
know
off
what I'm
at 2 o'clock, that's solid.
I mean, you gotta get up by 5:30 in the morning. Be about 6:30.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Getting off by 2, you got the whole rest of the day.
See,
to
I'm an early bird, so I would much rather, I want to get my hours as early as I possibly can.
Yeah, it ain't that bad. I like to just knock it on out. Get that 8 and get up out of there.
I could do it once I got on a schedule, but I like 8:30 to 5. 8:30 is perfect for me. But
I don't know, bro. That shit. Getting off when it's dark is like,
yeah, that extra hour is a big difference.
it's a big difference.
It is a really big difference.
I remember them days. I used to work 2 jobs for a long time.
Ooh, that's
So
tough.
it's like getting up in this dark and then getting off in this dark. Like, you don't really be out of work in the daylight. It's like, damn.
Yeah, this ain't even a life.
I've worked 2 jobs before, but I can't remember how often I've worked 2 jobs in the same day. I can't really remember doing that. Maybe I've done it a couple times, but that ain't my cup of tea.
I told myself I never put myself through that again.
Yeah,
I try my best to not have to do that no more.
I'm not gonna do that shit.
Just working too much, bro.
Yeah, I thought about it a few years back, but we were able to do overtime, and I was like, I could do 7 hours of overtime a week.
Yeah,
Or
right.
get
And
another job
that's
and
the
work
same thing.
15 to 20, and I'll be almost the same. There's no chance of getting a
Not
second
doing that
job.
shit.
Right.
Yeah, I think those days are past.
Yeah. It's all about peace of mind these days, man. I like to have my time.
Way more important.
Yeah.
As long as I got enough money, I'm okay.
That's it.
Would rather have my time than extra money.
I
That's
already
just
get a
who I am.
quarter of my day. You don't need to double it. Half of my day. I used to give half of my day to these motherfuckers.
And the other half,
of my
you're
day.
asleep for
Other
3
half
quarters.
Sleep mostly, yeah. Nah, I can't do that no more.
That's tough, man.
What about you, Carl? You got anything this week?
Really, nothing special. I've been watching some shows. I forgot. I finished. It's this new show on Netflix that I watched. The woman staring. It's got the long ass name. Woman staring out the window.
Yeah.
whatever.
I know what you're talking about because they initially did a movie, I believe.
Was it?
That it was like The Girl Next Door, or whatever the part of the title is. And then the series, I think this is right. The series is the name of like the girl who lives next door to the girl down the stairs or some shit.
It's super, super duper long.
That's a lot.
But that shit is actually pretty good.
It's like a thriller kind of thing, right?
It's like a suspense thriller comedy a little bit too. Yeah, it's pretty funny too. It's got some real comedic moments in there, man. But I thought the plot twist at the end was a bit childish.
It was a bit childish.
And that term is like perfect. Well, if you watch it, you'll be like, okay.
How many episodes is it?
It's 8 episodes, but them shit's 30 minutes a piece, dog. Or like 25.
Gotcha.
Breeze through that shit.
that's
Like
a
I watched it in like one afternoon. Yeah.
That's
easy
a night.
money.
Yeah.
It was pretty good though. It's just pretty entertaining because you're like, man, I got to figure out what the fuck is going on here. And it's one of the things you literally don't figure out what's going on until the last episode. It's one thing I couldn't get a beat on.
This is one that
I'm good at.
you should have hit us on this one. This would have been a perfect one.
Yeah, I guess if we all could have.
I'll watch it this week if we want to do it next week.
All right, yeah, that's cool.
Would you be down?
I'll try to watch it.
8 episodes, a half hour. I could do that this week.
I ain't watching shit this week. I do need to watch Euphoria though. Tripping.
Yeah, I got to
end
get
up
caught
getting
up
to
on
it
that.
yesterday. Huh?
Nah, I ended up going to sleep. I was tired. It was like I'm not waiting this late to watch it.
Not when you could just easily watch it the next day.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna still be there.
All right, we'll just hold that thought then. We'll watch it and get back to that next week.
Yeah,
and we'll figure out what the title is.
Yeah. Watch that. Of course, I got caught up on Power. Watched the finale. That was solid. That was solid. And then started the Force Tommy shit.
That boy Tommy Egan.
Oh, they started the new show.
Yeah. That just came out.
He in Chi-Town.
Right. I was like, damn, what happened? I thought we were supposed to go to California or LA or some shit like
took
that.
a pit stop. I guess they changed that shit up real quick.
Real quick.
So this is supposed to be after everything that's happened?
Right.
Okay.
Kind of on the same line.
He pretty much on the
Tariq
run.
shit.
Because Tasha snitched on him. So he pretty much on the run from all that shit in New York, man.
And the crazy thing is, it's not like a spoiler. Motherfucker's on the
Spoil
run.
it for me.
But he driving the same car that he drove around the entire
blue
time
Mustang.
in New York.
Like, how you still riding? You going across the country in the same car while you on the run for being one of the biggest drug dealers in New York.
Come on.
Like, what we talking
Well,
about?
I was saying the whole time with Power is like, all this money they getting the Tommy still. The car is bad. I mean, the car is fucking fire for sure.
No, the car
joint,
got,
right?
remember the car got shot up.
Yeah.
And then somebody got him, I forgot who it was. I think whatchamacallit, Ghost got him a new one. Remember he got shot up?
Something like that.
They got him a new one, the same car, so he just got a fresh new Mustang now.
Well, to me, it's just like,
Same joint.
you doing all of this stuff in the same vehicle, like, it's not really how people who do what you do move.
Doesn't make
you
any
know what I'm
sense.
saying?
Plot holes.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Weird.
I'm gonna see how they gonna take it though. I guess Tommy gonna get his shit off in Chicago.
Didn't they do one spinoff that's supposed to be before all of the original
Raising
Power?
Canaan.
Well, Kanan's is, yeah.
To me, that's the best Power there is.
That seems easier to
maybe,
do.
I don't know. It's a toss up between like the original Power and Raising Canaan. To me, it's that good.
That makes sense to me because my biggest complaint with the original Power was like it just kept getting too ridiculous.
Right.
So if you're adding on more stories afterwards, it could get more of the same. But starting the new or like from the beginning of Power, I just feel like you could take that anywhere.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like that
first
one.
3 seasons was crazy.
That one has
Is that deep already?
On the original Power.
Gotcha.
I feel like the Raising Canaan has like the best acting and like character development I've seen since like the first season of Power or whatever. So that's why I like it.
Is that the Method Man one?
Yeah, because it's all new characters pretty much.
No, Method Man's in Ghost.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's in the Ghost.
Yeah,
With
he's in
Tariq.
Ghost. Omar Epps is in Raising Canaan though.
Okay.
And, the dude that plays Canaan looks just like him to me. Like
You think he looks just like 50 Cent?
Yeah, he got like the facial expressions and shit that he make. It's very. I mean, they did a good job of casting. I felt like
It seems like he doesn't look like the person that would be playing this role, like this character to me.
what do he look like?
I don't know. He just look like this little goofy dude. He's supposed to be playing like this little kid street gangster now. I mean, I guess he's not at the moment, but you turn it into one. But this is weird.
He's not cool enough.
But it's a cool show. I like it.
I think it's fire, bro. That was my favorite season of Power I watched in a long time.
That's what's up.
Yeah, for sure. But that's pretty much. I felt like I watched something else. It was like a.
Y'all gotta check out that Abbott Elementary, yo.
I've had so many people tell me that now.
It's funny though.
What is that?
It's called Abbott Elementary. It's like a black version of The Office. Of these teachers teaching that elementary school.
No.
Jamie was somebody that was telling me about it. He said something about it, and I was like, "Yo, Moss said it was like The Office." And like as I was typing it, he was like, "It was kind of like The Office." I was like, "All right, bet."
It's that type of humor.
I mean,
they got the dude from Everybody Hates Chris.
Okay.
He one of the teachers. He like a substitute.
Oh, that's
cool. Funny. That shit funny.
I heard they do like the little side interviews.
Yeah.
Which is
all that.
I would imagine that's the stuff that makes it like so Office.
The same setup. Yeah, pretty much.
I fuck with The Office, man. That's just one of them shows you can put on and not really give a fuck.
Right.
I've seen every episode so many times it's retarded.
And not seen it at the same time, right?
right. I'm out for 10 minutes and pop back in. Michael says something stupid.
It doesn't matter.
That's why it's perfect. I need those shows.
Yeah. It's a good one though. Gotta check it out.
I heard something about this new detective show. Like it's supposed to be a funny detective show on Netflix too. Did y'all see that? It's got like guest appearances, but Marshawn Lynch was on one of them. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know. I don't think it's like.
I seen something with Marshawn Lynch in it. What's
I
it
don't
called?
think it's like a drama. I think it's like almost like a.
Oh, you're talking about the murder? It's called like Murder something, Murderville or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I seen the trailer for the shit. Did
it look good?
Looks like incredibly goofy. I'm not sure if it's up my lane. Maybe it's something I can just put on and get a good laugh out of, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna dive into that or not.
I'm gonna watch one or two, see what happens, but I don't know either. I haven't watched it.
I'm not gonna lie. You say Marshawn Lynch in it, it makes me that like less interested. Like, seriously, I'm like, no, I'm not watching that shit.
Well, I was told that like they're all individual episodes, so I'm gonna watch the Marshawn one, and I think the other one I was
interested in something that was like a good show. I think it was Westworld. I think he was in that at one point.
Wild.
I feel like he was
That's
in
super wild.
Yeah, it was like random. I was like, damn, what the fuck is Marshawn Lynch doing?
That's the one with the
HBO.
It's an HBO joint. Super weird is what I was told.
That wild show where they go like into a different era in life.
See, like with robots and shit.
Yeah, it's a wild show though.
I never got around to that one either.
Yeah.
It just got a little kind of like wacky, like kind of, I don't know.
It's
all over
some
the
sci-fi
place there
shit
for me. Yeah.
Definitely some sci-fi
and
shit.
I know you don't fuck with that much.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
To that extent. But I mean, it's kind of
either
realistic.
for real. I just turned it on, seeing what the fuck it was, and I got into it. Like the storyline and shit was good.
It's solid, but I mean, I don't know. It's got to a point where like I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
It's some wild shit. It definitely is.
Oh, well, I just went blank on the name of the show. There was another one like that. Something Robot. Mr. Robot with Rami Malek, and it was on USA.
I think I heard
this joint was nuts. Like the first 3 seasons were so fire. And then it just started getting so weird.
Right.
It was like, yo, I can't even follow what's going on right now. It's just too much. It's like too meta and shit.
Right. I guess they've done so much at this point.
You can just do whatever now.
Right.
Like, what wild shit can we do now?
No rules apply if you go sci-fi.
Pretty much.
You make up whatever you want.
Anything happens. It's shit crazy.
For sure.
Well, we should get to it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to start off. We have plenty of controversial stuff going on throughout the week.
Yeah,
a lot of big names saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Sure.
A little bit.
So, Mr. Joe Rogan is who we're going to start with.
The Rogue.
How do we want to even start this?
Rogan.
So, I mean, people have just canceled Rogan, right? I mean, when did this start exactly? That's what I want to know.
I'll go a little timeline on this. So he's been catching flack for a while for COVID.
It's been like a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, for COVID stuff.
Yeah,
they don't
That's where it started.
They don't like him having these people on that are saying things counter to what the CDC and all the government stuff are telling us. So that got him in the hot water.
Yeah.
And then they really went at him hard. And then Neil Young, an old rock musician, decided he was going to pull his music off of Spotify unless they took Joe Rogan off.
Yeah. And India Ari. Can't forget her.
Well, he was first, and then there's been like 3 or 4 more artists, not quite as big. India RE being the latest one that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And then she said that her reasoning was because of, well, I'll back up. We'll come back to India.
Yeah, I forgot it was about the other thing. Yeah.
Joe gave like a response statement to everything that happened with the COVID stuff and Neil Young, and basically it was like, yo, I'm a huge Neil Young fan. Like, I could do a better job of having different opinions on and trying to present more of both sides with the COVID thing. And we're going to start putting disclaimers at the beginning of the show that, you know, we're not medical experts or whatever. He kind of just basically tried to make other people feel comfortable and say, I'll try to be more balanced. I'm still going to keep doing the show, but I hear your concerns.
Right.
Then within like the next couple of days, India RE pulled her music off and cited a clip or this video that was put together, montage, I guess you would call it.
Viral now.
Yeah, of Rogan using the N-word repeatedly.
A lot.
So
Which is nothing new, though.
That's where everything blew up the last week or so. And then he's given responses and so forth. But what are the thoughts on the video? I'm sure that you've all seen it.
So, I mean, I want to address the COVID stuff first.
Sure.
I just feel like, what's the big fucking deal about having an opinion on? They're not necessarily telling people what's like. I mean, they're not the CDC. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not telling people like, oh, you don't have to wear a mask or anything like that, or telling people how to live them lives. They're just pretty much voicing their opinions on what they think about it, right? Or how they want to. They don't want to get vaccinated. I mean, what's the problem?
The problem is that he got millions of viewers and listeners listening to him every day.
So what?
I'm saying that's what their issue is, because he has so many people that listens to him.
You think that he's influencing them?
Yeah, they don't like that shit.
But these are the people who agree. They're listening to Joe Rogan because they already agree with this type of shit anyway.
For the most part.
I mean, I doubt that he persuaded many people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were already against it or for it, regardless of what Joe Rogan said.
Well, the one thing I would say, I think the fear that they have is that the media's lost a lot of credibility over the last multiple years, but specifically the last 2 years with all the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
There's been way too many instances where, like, Rachel Maddow on CNN outright said when the vaccine was really getting popping off, if you get the vaccine, you can't get COVID. And she was like, literally, if you get the vaccine, you can't get COVID. It was like treating people stupid for thinking that was even a possibility.
Right.
That's just one example. But then when we find out later down the line that the information they've said is not true, and they treat everybody that disagrees as like crazy people that are trying to take over the country.
You can't get COVID. Then they like adjusted afterwards and said like, oh, you can still get it, but you can't give it to anybody else. Right. And then they adjust. It's like, oh, you can still get it, but it's not going to be as bad.
A couple months.
It's going to keep you out the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Like, they adjusted that shit so many different times.
So I think their loss of credibility within that, coupled with the fact that Rogan gets so many viewers, I don't think anybody else even touches
it's not
on any platform anywhere.
He's Drake.
Yeah, that's the perfect comparison. He's putting up bigger numbers than the TV shows.
Yeah.
So at this point, they're like, yo, he needs to be stopped because they're not listening to us no more. They're listening to Joe. Plus, he's saying stuff we don't like.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're talking about. They're listening to you over listening to us, and we don't like that shit. That's what the issue is.
I agree.
But, you know.
And all right, and then what's up with what the fuck is taking your music off of Spotify gonna do? That seems like it hurts you. Does that hurt Joe Rogan at all?
I looked at, what's the dude's name? Neil Young. Neil Young. I looked at some shit about him. He's had a lot to do with a lot of fucking music. So I've heard. Or owns or rights or the rights of a lot of fucking music. So it really could like put a dent. He's like one of them ones that's like, oh shit, you wrote this, you was a part of this. He's one of those. So it ain't like just his shit. It's shit that he was a part of. So apparently it had a big effect on Spotify.
I'll have to look into that.
To where they had to respond to that.
That's another aspect of it. So there's not to get too conspiratorial, but there's a lot of people saying that the timing of it was right before Spotify had like their end of quarter earnings stuff. So when he pulled that right at that moment, it had a pretty big financial impact on Spotify stock and stuff. So their stock tanked at the terrible moment for that to happen. But your original question, I don't think the idea was that he was going to be able to do much. But if he and a whole gang of artists started doing it, then you're just putting pressure on Spotify. They'll put the music right back on Spotify. They're just saying, get this dude out of here. And it's not working yet because Joe is Joe
Rogan, right? I mean, he literally changed. Like when he did the Spotify deal, it changed everything for Spotify. Like it brought probably millions of people to that platform.
Yeah, they gave the guy $100+ million that we're aware of. I would assume that if they just got rid of him and ended the contract, that they're holding that back.
Right.
So they're not caving as quickly as most companies usually would in these situations.
Right. Yes, indeed.
Oh, no, it's pretty nuts. I couldn't find the video of him, like, the clips of him using the N-word a bunch of times. So.
I got you, bro.
Because, I mean, I've listened to his podcast before and I've heard him say it. But to me, it wasn't like, it didn't come off as like racist or anything. It just kind of, I don't know.
Oh, shit, hold on. My bad. He was getting his shit off.
You got it?
You already said nigger. He is just like nigger. Dang, nigger. She's calling you a nigger. It's like this boy that he's a nigger and starts calling them niggers. Word nigger. There should be a word like nigger, especially nigger. That's our nigger. Niggers, he says nigger. Guy, a nigger. And then our niggers start saying nigger.
Is this the clip? All right, I got it.
You got it. Did you hear it? And apparently it's on about 70 episodes of what you said. They had to take down off Spotify.
Well, I've seen they remove like 100 episodes from his catalog or whatever. But I mean, hearing that, it's out of context.
What context? What is the context of what white man can say nigga that freely?
I don't really have a problem with the word. He's using the hard ER though, so he got to correct that shit. You can't use the hard ER. But just like in general, when we're talking about like freedom and speech and stuff like that.
I don't mean to cut you off, but to give one context of one story, one of the stories where he was talking about going to the movies in a black neighborhood.
Yeah.
He said he was like basically
he didn't say the N-word then though.
He was associated it with Planet of the Apes a little bit. He had a couple like little slight.
He said he was going to go see the Planet of the Apes. The movie theater was in a black neighborhood, and he said when we got out of the car, we were in Planet of the Apes, which that's a racist statement. In which he acknowledged in that same sentence and said, "Oh, that's kind of racist."
Right.
But I mean, it doesn't make it okay. To me, I didn't really find it funny necessarily. It's like, that's very offensive. But I think he was just trying to make a joke. You know what I'm saying? He's like one of those he a comedian, so he gonna play with those lines type of thing. But I mean, look, you can't use the N-word with the hard ER. You can't use that. That'll get you fucked up.
You can't use it at all.
I'm not going to sit there and
use it at all.
I would say that you probably shouldn't, but I'm not going to sit there and tell nobody that can't. You can't say it to me, not to my face. No. But on his own platform, podcast, on the privacy of his own home,
there wasn't nothing in the room
with his friends.
I'm sure there wasn't nothing in the room where he's making these.
I'm just saying. Look, probably not. Probably not.
So like, all right, I'm saying about issue. I don't fuck with that shit at all. But I see Andrew Schultz out here wholly defending. You know, Rogan is this guy and is wholly defending him.
Yeah.
And I wish like I could like talk to Andrew because I understand Rogan is this guy and that's his man's. But Andrew Schultz is one of the most flagrant motherfuckers I know.
Yeah.
On his podcast, he let a lot of shit fly, a lot of racial slurs, so to speak, fly on a weekly basis. You know what line he never crosses?
Yep.
He's never going to say the N-word. He's never going to drop a nigga. You know why? Because he got to go face Charlemagne the next day. Yep. He got to go see one of his best friends, Jamil. He got to look at Alex sitting across from him. He's not going to go across that line because he knows that's not a line he should cross. Even though he's the most flagrant there is out there, he still knows.
I know for a fact.
I'm not gonna cross that line because I'm gonna have to speak to one of my guys that's around me all the time about that shit.
I know for a fact when Snoop Dogg was on Joe Rogan's pod, he didn't drop.
Exactly. If somebody was in the room that he knew would have a problem with it, he wouldn't feel so comfortable letting that shit fly like that.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Well, let me jump in on that point because I thought about Schultz too and all the crazy stuff that he says. I think you kind of touched on the reason I think the two don't connect, or why there's a disconnect, I should say. Because Schultz has all those black people around him.
Right.
And he grew up around black people.
Exactly.
I don't think Rogan did. And the video that you just played, there's basically two of these montage videos. I don't even want to say that. I've seen another one where they're doing the same thing. They're showing all the same clips of every time he said it.
Right.
And when they do give you just an extra half second of what he was saying, the vast majority of them, I'm not trying to cape for this guy, but the vast majority of them are him saying, like, referencing the word.
Right.
Like it's saying, I don't really understand why blank is so blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's
That's what I'm saying. It's out of context for sure.
Yeah.
But it's with the hard ER, so it's just going to make it seem.
For sure.
Ain't nothing wrong. You could just say the N-word.
Right. Well, look
you could literally just say that.
Let me clarify my stance on all this because Rogan is my guy. Rogan I've been watching him for years now. And I heard about this a couple of years back.
Right.
I think it was on a Reddit something where they mentioned Rogan says the N-word. And I was immediately like taken back and was like, I got to find out what this is about. So I found this video. It's been something that people have been aware of, or at least somebody has been aware of for an extended amount of time.
And
it's a lot of old episodes.
Yeah. So I looked into it and stuff, and I believe that the majority of the times it was said, he's doing it in that setting where he's talking about it in an academic way and blah, blah, blah. But I also know people personally. I have friends that have said it that type of way, where they're saying, I don't understand why it's such a big deal to say blank.
Right.
Or they'll say, they're telling you a story about something that happened at the bar or something. And he's like, yo, this dude turned around and called him a...
Right.
And I'm with Moss. I don't understand why it's so hard to just say the N-word and not say the actual word. It doesn't take away from the story. It doesn't take away from your point. You can say, I do that when I talk to you.
Or even if like you say, if you feel that bold that you're going to say it around somebody that you know that you would feel uncomfortable saying it. Don't say it around when you ride around your other white dudes and y'all kicking it and da-da-da feeling safe. If you feel it's like I could just say it, let that shit fly, let it fly.
I feel like, honestly,
I think how public it is kind of shows that he didn't think it was an issue.
Yeah, I mean,
it's on the podcast he put out to the world. Yeah.
I think it's awkward. Like, I think white people make white people feel uncomfortable when they say it.
I try to. I try to.
You know, like,
I try to make people feel uncomfortable.
I mean, I don't know what setting is the right setting for you to say that.
There is none.
Yeah, there's
I'm just saying, if you're going to feel comfortable saying it around other people, feel that way when Kevin Hart or Snoop Dogg come to your podcast, feel like you can have that same conversation and say
you got to have that conversation.
Yeah, have that same conversation.
Then I have a lot more respect. But I mean, it's out of context. I don't believe Joe Rogan is a racist or anything like that. But man, you gotta fix that hard ER with. You gotta correct that, man. He sounds that's some plantation talk.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence of if he's racist or not. I don't know. I'm gonna just leave it out in the air. I don't know him like that. But if you feel freely to drop it and say it like that and make those type of jokes,
Spotify gonna make you pop out with a black girlfriend.
I don't know. I don't know this band. So it is what it is.
I don't even know what to say, man. I really don't. Joe is somebody that I respect Joe to the highest degree. And to be honest with you, I still do right now. I've watched enough of his material outside of, race stuff that he's one of the most curious individuals that listens to everybody with different opinions. He genuinely seems like somebody that wants to learn.
Yeah.
I put a lot of time thinking about this, and actually I wrote a bunch of shit that I shared tonight. If y'all want to go look at it, it's on Facebook. But I still believe him to be a genuine person. And I think there were instances, specifically like the apes joke, and there were, I'm sure that he said the word trying to tell a joke and be funny. Right. And it wasn't just all time saying like, well, how come this blank word can't be said? Like, I think he did make jokes that would absolutely cross the line. I don't find that acceptable. And I think his apology video, I appreciated his apology video. I think there's some people that won't like it because he explained what his thought process was and the times that he was using it. People see that as making excuses.
Right.
I would say in response to the excuses thing, if you apologize for something and just say, I was wrong, I shouldn't have said that, the very next question that people ask is, well, why did you even think you could?
Right, for sure.
So the way that he addressed it, I felt like he explained why he was saying it at the time and then immediately doubled back and said, there was a quote he had specifically where he said, I'm not racist, but anytime you have to say, I'm not racist, you fucked up. I fucked up. What I said was wrong. I shouldn't be saying it, and I won't say it. It won't be something that is said in the future or something like that. I don't think he's a racist. I understand anybody that says I'm never listening to anything that he has to say again. You put that out there. Like, he didn't have to say these things. So having some sort of retribution where you lose credibility, I think is fair.
Right.
But I think people that if people are actually interested in finding out, is this a racist person? Is this somebody that was being dumb? I think if they genuinely look into that, I think you would find that it's not the case. But backlash that he gets is deserved at this point. He chose to say the things he said, and now he has to answer for that.
Yeah. I think the part that I guess like that makes it bad for me, because I listen to Joe a little bit too. So it's like, I understand he's an intelligent person, so he should be more, I would think he would be more intelligent to know to not put this out.
Yeah. Saying
that shit out on your podcast as you putting out to the world. You know it's going to come back at some point. Somebody got it, whether you took it down, whenever you took it down, it's going to pop back up, and that's exactly what it did. And he knows he's in the wrong because he would never say that on this podcast now. So it's like, even if it was in the early days, he wouldn't do that now, so he was in the wrong for doing that.
Well, if I could be honest with you, I am curious to find out who he was talking to in all of those clips.
Right.
Now, a lot of those, I guarantee you, are his goofball comedian dudes, and it was probably bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I truly believe that in certain instances, he really didn't think what he was saying was wrong. Like in that academic setting, I could see him saying to Neil deGrasse Tyson, why is it that this is such a problem? And saying,
I can see it,
like,
but I
literally could.
I would like to see it, because I don't think he's had that conversation with the black person in the room. It would make a difference if he was having this conversation with the black person in his room. It would change everything.
Yeah.
That would change everything from this, from how I'm looking at it. When your next black guest does touch your talk or whatever, have that conversation with him.
Yeah.
You should do that.
Person would have told her the first thing you gotta do is take off that ego.
Yeah, but it's like, if you want to have that conversation, have it with a person that you can have that conversation. That's all I'm saying.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing about the apology thing is he made a video. A lot of people nowadays don't do that shit. They fucking
unscripted.
They do they put out a statement that somebody else clearly wrote for them. A long statement on Instagram or Twitter or something like that.
12 years of dropping 5 podcasts a week. You're going to know how to talk.
I mean, for sure.
If it's anything this motherfucker do, he going to know how to talk.
A lot of people, when some shit like that come out, they go into hide and they don't want to put their face on it. He put his face on it. He owned up to the shit he said. Though he gave some excuses or reasonings behind it or whatever, but still he apologized and acknowledged that what he said was wrong. So, it's nothing else to see here for me type shit.
What I do hope happens, and I think it will, from what I believe him to be, I think he will be having these discussions coming up soon.
If he's the Joe that Rogan I know, he would. He should. Yeah. He should do that.
And then the podcast will do twice the numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's a win-win situation for him at the end of the day.
It's gonna go crazy.
I've been interested to see
Farrakhan on.
Oh man, that would be wild.
That shit would do $1 billion in 2 days or something.
I want to see
Spotify they probably would allow it to have it on.
I want to see him do it with Chappelle. Because him and Chappelle are best buds.
Yeah,
they've been on tour together.
He's had Chappelle on there a couple times.
Yeah, for an extended amount of time. Donnell Rawlings is best buds with him too. Like the three of them have been on tour for a while. Donnell released not a statement, but he backed him on Instagram. It puts people in a funny spot because I think if you're friends with him, you want to stand up and say, this is not the person that I know.
Right.
But obviously, like anytime you're putting yourself on the side of defending somebody for using that, It doesn't look good for you. It's not a great look, but I don't know.
It
It
was
is
the
what it
perfect
is.
person to have that conversation with.
I think so,
And I
too.
kind of want to I don't know if these people knew of these things that happened before they went on their podcast in the past, but I feel like they should. Any of them should be up there. Should have that conversation with him. Should probably bring that up when you go to his podcast. Like any of them, Chappelle, Snoop, just have the conversation about what he said.
Got you.
About the word or whatever. So
Yeah.
they should probably bring that up too.
I hope they do, man.
Maybe.
I hope they do. I think that would be dope. But
We'll see.
hopefully he learns from this and can clean it up, get back on track and not have to be doing another apology video the next day because he's now had, 2 apology videos in the last week or so.
Well, you know what? I can tell you who he's doing better than right about now.
Who's that?
Whoopi.
Think
Is
so?
he?
He's doing a little bit better than Whoopi right now, I think.
Why you say that?
Stature.
She got suspended.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's a difference. Joe Rogan, ain't nobody stopping them from working.
I mean,
Because he's not employed by anybody.
Yeah, right. I mean,
employed by Spotify.
they can her the fuck up out of here.
Let's talk about what Whoopi said. That was our next segment. That was the other one. I think that happened like the day before. You have audio you go play?
I can. Let me see if I can find it. But let me see.
Whoopi was giving it up on the early morning.
I'm going to come to Whoopi's defense too.
You know how I kind of feel,
Yeah,
but
you don't got a lot of sensitivity to the Jews, Mike.
that is not the truth. That is not the truth. Let me see if I can find this. Whoopi gained some weight.
She's an elder
I was
lady.
going to say she's
A pretty elder lady.
getting up there. This is what happens.
Actually, I can't find the exact clip right now. Do you know what she said?
trying to find a clip of what she
I know
said?
what she said.
Yeah.
I don't know what the previous discussion was because again, we get clipped and you only get the juicy part.
Right.
But she was saying that the Holocaust was not about race.
I think it was like a Holocaust. I won't call it a holiday, but I think it was like the day that it happened.
Memorial.
Yeah, she
Memorial
said it
Day.
had nothing to do with like.
She said it had nothing to do with race. It was about human hate in general. That was the gist of it.
Right.
Now, I believe what she meant is that it was white people. It wasn't a dark skin tone.
Right.
So a lot of people assume race is only skin color.
And
On all honesty,
clarify-
I don't know what race is
right. And
sometimes.
to
neither.
clarify, black people that we see Jewish people as white people.
Right.
It's-
White people do.
Right. I mean, there's no way for us to tell different. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
standard.
Yeah, well, this is going to be.
But there's a lot of races that are Jewish, though.
What's that?
There's a lot of races that are Jewish, though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
But
I guess.
what we know is the whitest of the whites.
Right,
Being
right,
Jewish, of course.
So I think what she said was
is
out of ignorance.
Jewish a race? Like specifically?
I tried to look it up, bro, and it's so confusing because race is a made up word.
Because, right.
It's a construct
Right.
of like trying to
Yeah.
put cultural things together.
Right.
And from the Jewish standpoint, I think those cultural things that you would consider race are like,
Race is something that's made up, and everybody wants to have their own race.
yeah,
So that's why there's so many of them.
yeah, pretty much. Everybody wants their kind of special.
Everybody
group
has their
or
own,
whatever.
yeah.
But I don't think what she was trying to say was mean. I don't think she was
wasn't
trying
at all.
I don't think what
No.
she was trying to say is like they didn't have it bad or it wasn't that serious. It was like an attempt to say it wasn't skin color thing.
She was saying
And
it was
it's
fucked
kinda-
up as humanity. Like,
Right. Now I do think that was very all lives matter of herish. It was like,
yeah,
no, the
in that
Holocaust
moment.
wasn't just about Jews. It was
Right,
like
right.
about human hate.
It's like, nah, they was specifically killing Jews, bro. We talking about like
Hitler
it was
said we
very
want to
specific.
distinguish this race. Like the words are.
But
Hitler
isn't she
used
like?
that.
Isn't she Jewish? I feel like she said that she's Jewish before.
She has said it. She's not.
Okay, so
She's
lied.
not. She says that she feels like she has Jewish heritage.
Oh, 'cause last name's Goldberg.
She changed her name or used the stage name Goldberg.
Yeah, all right.
There was also stuff about her mother thought that would be a good idea because of going into Hollywood and there being a lot of Jewish people. So the Goldberg thing I thought was hilarious
Yeah, it's
given
kinda
the
wild.
situation. But
I
again, I
never knew that. I never knew
I didn't
that.
either, bro. I thought that was her name. I looked it up and I was like,
What
wait,
do you think about like
name's
what black
not
people we know
Goldberg?
last name Goldberg?
yeah, nobody.
Like what are we talking about?
Wrestler, ain't it?
Yeah, the wrestler.
I never knew that.
I gotta see what her real name is now.
I can't remember.
Oh, she really got a black woman named Karen Johnson.
Oh,
It's her real name.
She's a Karen?
Karen
Kinda like
Elaine
name.
Johnson.
That's a Karen moment she done had, I guess.
Yeah, kind of is. She was-
The All Lives Matter Karen moment.
Karen Johnson couldn't make the cut. Straight to Whoopi Goldberg.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to. That's a pretty generic name, Karen Johnson. So you gotta switch that up if you think you want to be
Very
somebody.
generic.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look, she could have cleaned it all up if she was just saying like, just added on to it like, yes, this was about racism and against the Jewish community and stuff like that. And then also added her statement, because what she said is not wrong. She didn't say anything incorrect. They were just looking for you to include that last piece to say like, oh no, it was racist. Like it was an act done to a community that shouldn't have been. Ultimately, it was horrific, So they were just waiting for you to add that little piece into it, and she was just like, nah. I'm not doing that. This is what I think. So she kind of fucked herself up with that one. But she all could have been avoided by just adding that little statement to it.
Yeah. I don't like the suspension either.
I thought it was extra.
Did you think it was gonna come though? I mean,
Yeah, immediately.
'Cause I think she's like debating to leave the show altogether now because they suspended her. And not for nothing, she'd be good if she had on the show or not. I think she is like a main part of the show, so that would be a big loss for them. But it's like, if it's that egregious, don't suspend her, fire her. If you're gonna take it there, then take it there. Don't suspend her because she gotta come back on the show. They're gonna have to address it at some point whenever she comes back on the show.
Yeah.
You're not gonna avoid whatever it is.
I feel like it's awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's because like the execs and stuff. I think for the most part, everybody knows it wasn't an intentional thing.
Right.
But anytime you like soften
really mad though. Like the head of was it ABC, whatever network it is, they was like really mad. I think the head of ABC is like a black woman.
Oh, really?
And she was like really pissed about this shit. They said she was or something.
I hadn't heard about that.
Suspended. I don't know. Who knows?
Anytime you try to like soften the blow though of slavery or the Holocaust, it never goes well.
Nah.
There's nothing you can say that's like, I mean,
Address that
this
shit head
part
on.
wasn't quite like, don't try to downplay it. Those are going to get made offensive as soon as you say it.
Exactly.
But it's green, man. It's green. There's way too many people. There's way too many people, way too much money involved with the show.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
For to not accept that
That's what it is.
backlash and not stand on it. Spotify's in a different scenario with Rogan because of how much money they have invested in him. But she got suspended for green. That's all it is.
Right.
Most people don't actually care about what she said.
Right.
And the stuff that's pissed me off most about the Whoopi situation is all of the non-cancel culture conservative people that are always talking about people getting canceled got so excited when it happened because they're like, yeah, get her too.
Right.
And I'm like, I understand that from a human standpoint. You feel like you're being attacked, get them too. But you're a fucking hypocrite. If you say, don't do this cancel culture, all this nonsense, and then get excited when somebody else gets in trouble. That's whack. Be consistent.
Yeah, because they was hot about Roseanne.
Yeah.
Hey, that shit.
So
it was
mad.
hot when they got Roseanne up out of there.
What did she say again though? She a real racist. Right
She's real, yeah.
She a real racist.
Wow.
She was a wild one.
Wow, girl. I don't even remember what she said, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
She's one of those that like you know is gonna cross the line. So it's just like, oh, she finally got fired.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah, let's come out to the real racists here. But yeah, I mean,
Did you say let's come back to the real racists? What?
I said they should start coming after them. Like the real racists. Whatever.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
She'll be back. She'll be running strong like it has been.
I think that's
If she decides to come back.
Most likely.
One of those things. Guess we just keep going with race from here, huh?
Let's do it.
What's the next
Who's
one?
up next?
Brian Flores.
Oh, Brian.
Ooh, Brian Flores, my
This
guy.
one. I like this one.
Filed a class action lawsuit against the NFL. He included the Denver Broncos, the New York Giants, and the Miami Dolphins in it as well too.
Sure did.
Get him.
Pretty much stating that I guess the hiring process for African American coaches is ultimately like a sham. The teams are pretty much just checking a box to satisfy the Rooney Rule. And I mean, it's a bunch of other allegations in there, like specific interviews that he had with the Denver Broncos, the Giants. pretty much what broke this whole thing, I guess, what set him off was the Bill Belichick text.
Yeah.
The fucking Bill Belichick text. I mean, this is
hilarious.
Crazy. This is right crazy. Imagine sitting in your home and getting a text like, hey, congratulations, I heard you got the job. And he texts Bill back like,
do you know something I don't know?
Do you know something I don't know? I interviewed for the job. What he say? He texted him on Monday. This is prior to Brian Dabble even interview. He hadn't even interviewed for the job yet.
Yep.
Right.
So Bill Belichick already knew that Brian Dabble was getting the job before
anybody got interviewed.
Right, before anybody even had an interview.
Those two at least.
So he texts him and is like, hey, congratulations, I heard you got the job. And Brian Flores is like, oh shit, you know, like, oh, you know something I don't know? I interviewed for it on Thursday.
I think I got a good chance.
And he's from, and the thing is, he's from New York. He's from Brooklyn. So he's like, this is his dream job.
Hero kind of thing.
Yeah, right, apparently. And it's like, to be the guy who turns around the New York Giants, you from New York, like, you got to feel like you're the man.
For sure.
So I guess he was excited for it. And what happened next when he asked Bill Belichick.
The most awkward question in text history.
In the world.
Right.
Are you talking to Brian Flores or Brian Dabble? Just want to make sure I have this right.
Tell him what Bill said.
The response was great.
And Bill's response was, sorry, I fucked this up.
I fucked this up.
They're going with Brian Dabble. Something, BB. Imagine how serious you had to be, though.
And could you feel the pain and Brian Flores' response? Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. That's it.
Like, fuck.
That's all you need at that point, because it's like, and this all occurred on a Monday, so he knows he still has to interview for this job.
Right.
I need to think about that.
Because, I mean, you're right. Yeah, think about how you're fuming at this point, but you're like, all right, well, I still got to interview.
Did he go through with it?
Yeah, he went through with the interview.
I didn't know.
And a lot of people are saying, like, why would you go through the interview if you knew that? Because then the Giants would say some shit like, he didn't even show up for the interview, so how could he be a candidate for the job? Right. It's like, you still got to put on your best face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like what black people have to do all the time. You know what I'm saying?
You know you're not getting the job.
Hopefully I guess they wouldn't say anything outright in the video. But like if he came in recording this shit, like ready to set him up. You're setting me up.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm going to set you back up.
You never know. He might have that in his back pocket.
He might.
He might have like recorded the Zoom call or something.
It's like he's been collecting evidence for a few years now.
Yeah, the other monster allegation was the Dolphins owner paying $100,000 per game to lose. Was it 2 years ago or something when they were trying to get Tua?
Yep.
That one is I think the one that will get the most trouble.
Right.
So like everything that he's brought together is great as far as trying to put up his defense and stuff. But that's the one that could break the camel's back, in my opinion, because the owner
to throw games.
Yes.
Basically, you're paying them to throw games.
There's too much gambling stuff going on nowadays. The NFL is now involved directly with gambling.
Right,
and
fact.
From what I've heard, the owner has like some kind of investment with a gambling company of some kind.
Oh.
Like there's paper trails of this guy trying to throw games. That could get turned into
going down.
Massive federal crime type shit.
Because if he did that with him, who else has he paid off to fuck up a game?
Right.
If you're doing that to the head coach.
It was unfortunate that is the thing that will get the most trouble, given that all of this coaching malpractice is going on and these minority coaches are not being treated fairly. But unfortunately, that I think is what will be the biggest thing to come of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's crazy, but I mean, it's certainly not hard to believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were actively tanking. Like, that's what everybody knew.
He was calling that before the season started. Yeah,
right. So, you know, I don't know where it goes from here with that. I think
there was another thing too. The Brady thing, when the coach was trying to get him to meet up with Brady to get him to come to Miami.
They never said the player's name specifically. I think it was Deshaun Watson though. Okay. That they were talking about. The owner had a dinner or had arranged like a lunch or something. Brian Flores didn't know what was going on. He just thought he was meeting the owner, whatever the guy's name, Ross or something like that.
Right.
He thought he was meeting him for lunch. and all of a sudden they say that this the quarterback shows up out of nowhere, and he's tampering. Like, it's tampering. Yeah. He said he immediately left once whoever it was pulled up.
So the allegation is kind of he set him up for tampering, or just that the owner was trying to tamper?
The owner was trying to tamper.
Okay.
And he didn't but he did actually tell Flores that what he was trying to do.
Right. He was trying to,
because then once you're dirty, it's like, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do about it? We're here now.
That's
so.
Homeboy.
At the end of the day, he was getting done dirty all the way around, and it's on some shit like, oh, you ain't trying to play ball with us. Like, you ain't trying to do the shit that we need you to do so we can do the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, all right.
And it made all of this stuff, I mean, it kind of makes more sense to when you put when he's building the story and stuff, to see how he got randomly fired. Cause we was expecting a lot of people to get laid off this off season, as always. Right. But not the guy who won the last 9 out of 10 games or whatever it was.
Right. He was the only surprise.
Yeah, right.
They had a winning record.
He had a winning record. Mm-hmm. Like in the last 2 seasons, at least, I think, right? They've been winning games and ultimately competing for playoff spots down the stretch. And it seems as if they were trending in the right direction, especially if you want to talk about, everybody talks about 3 to 4 year plans and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Theirs was trending in the right fucking direction.
Yep.
You went from first to, or from worst to at least second, you know what I'm saying, in about 2 to 3 years. So, I felt like he had the team on the right trajectory. It's just sad to see him get fired the way that he did. But it all makes sense once he lays the story out and everything that was happening to him there. So, yeah.
Definitely agree.
But what changes going forward? Of course they have the class action lawsuit. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to join in there. I guess Hugh Jackson might throw his name in there. But how can you get billionaires to hire a coach they have no interest in?
You can't.
Yeah, I realistically don't see a solution, to be honest with you. Like, it's just, I don't know how they can make them do it. Because you can't force them to do something. And even if you can, you already see you just get fired without cause.
Right, 1 year and you're out of there.
The Rooney Rule is a good idea. It's a nice idea.
It's a great idea.
Very nice idea, but it's just not effective because you can do the sham interviews. There's nothing that you can do to really make somebody treat somebody else right.
Except say fuck them.
Yeah, you mentioned something that Hugh had said, and I think this is probably similar. I didn't end up getting to watch it, but in all honesty, and this is not fair that it would have to be done this way, but the only thing that I could even come up with that could be a solution is the black players and coaches refusing to play.
Right.
That's the only thing that I could see causing any type of change. And that's unrealistic as well.
Right.
They need the entire league to do it, basically, and that's just not going to happen. I don't know what the answer is.
So
what was you talking about?
The thing Hugh was giving up on he was on the pivot with the guys on the pivot, and he was saying, because he now coaches for Grambling, HBCU or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was saying, he brought up Tomlin, of course, because he has a prominent position with the Steelers and all this and that. He's a black coach. He can get more guys on his team and try to get guys more opportunities. But mainly he was saying, like, do what him and Eddie George coaching for, I think, was Tennessee State.
Yeah.
And Dion coaching for Jackson State. He's like, coaches need to pick up HBCU and build them up and make them come to you. If you build it, they'll come. And if they don't build up, he's like, just go what you appreciate it and don't go where you just tolerated it. And then if you build something up and make these prominent schools and make people come to these schools and get all these recruits and do the shit, same shit Dion is doing, they'll have no other reason but to respect you. You're going to have to start offering you jobs. If you literally build something up as being dominant coaches in the league and you build up the HBCUs as you want to, because they all going to hire them. They're all going to hire them, especially if you're a former NFL coach where you were OC, DC. You'll get these jobs.
I'm not buying that because it's not like it's a lot of black coaches that's gotten fired in the NFL for being successful, like while being successful, not for being successful. Like Lovie Smith, he had a 10-6 record when he got fired.
Yeah.
Fucking Jim Caldwell.
New head coach now.
The Lions haven't had a
with the Texans. Yeah,
Jim Caldwell. Yeah, the Texans just trying to save some face with that shit. But
that's back-to-back Black the Texans. They out here.
Jim Caldwell gave the Lions their last winning season, I believe.
I think that's true.
They haven't won since. So it's not for the lack of success that we don't have black head coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. You gotta say. That's why you saying say fuck them.
Well, wait, yeah. Let me clarify because I think I understood the way you did. So is he saying
remove yourself from that?
You're getting rid of not even wanting an NFL job? We're just going to dominate here. I thought you were saying dominate here and make the NFL bring you back in.
Yeah, both.
Oh, well,
you have to make that decision.
I agree with Carl that I don't know if that.
I'm dominating on the highest level.
Bieniemy can't get a job. He's been the best offensive coordinator probably for the last 2 or 3 years. And just they refuse to give him a job offer anywhere, it seems like.
I mean, I don't know if he can't get a job or if he even wants to leave. But that's, who knows?
Possible. I don't want to discredit Hugh's idea because I haven't heard a better one.
Right.
That's unfortunate if that is the only way to make it happen, but that's the best option I've heard.
I mean,
I really don't know,
I'm sure teams are calling Dion. I'm sure Dion's phone is lighting up. I mean, of course, it's Dion. It's prime time. He's a big character,
for
big star, big star. Yeah, colleges, and I'm sure NFL teams will talk to him.
I doubt it.
I don't see why not.
Look, I mean,
I don't see why not. At least bring him on as a coordinator or something.
Why he ain't taking no interviews? I mean, he might just be more interested in what's going on there, but I don't know. Look, it's a flaw in the system. It should just be. Maybe it should just be like. I don't know, a system to where like you have to qualify within this system, like have a certain amount of years in the league and before you're able to like graduate to these next steps and stuff like that. Maybe that'll filter stuff out. And because you got like guys like Josh McCown interviewing for a head coaching job. That's it shouldn't be possible for somebody who's never had a head coach or who's never coached anything in the NFL. This guy was a high school quarterback coach. So that's why I think you got to start there. It's like he should have never even gotten the opportunity. So we got to start weeding out the people who don't even deserve the opportunity first. And you can build some kind of system to say, or like, this guy qualifies because he's done this for this amount of years or, statistics in these categories qualifies them for this. It's got to be some kind of system that you can build, an algorithm that you can build to see or to say who qualifies for the next jobs coming up. And you should only be able to pick from those pool of candidates. How about that? Let's make it fair that way. I mean, I know it's like, it sounds like
they still can choose who they want to choose.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But at that point, you'll at least weed out the guys who don't even fucking Lane Kiffins and all of it. You really don't deserve a shot at the NFL at this point.
Right.
You don't. It's a lot of people that stuck around and been doing dirty work for 20 years who know fucking football like the back of their hand, but can't get an opportunity. So, I don't know. It's
an idea.
It's an idea.
There's not going to be any perfect ideas just that anybody can come up with right now. But I mean, I like the idea of brainstorming and trying to figure out specific criteria.
Yeah, I know what needs to happen. Man. Hove. You see, he get into the NFL offices. He try to work his way in there. I see what Hove doing.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately,
he's trying to get one of them teams.
It's not going to change until we
get some type of ownership,
black ownership or whatever. It's just not enough minority ownership.
That's going to be the thing that really changes.
You want somebody, for the most part, if you're going to hire somebody, you're probably going to hire somebody that looks like you, So I mean, I get that aspect of it, but
kinda. I mean, there's a certain
run your team.
There's a certain level of that when you got two candidates that are right here neck and neck. They're both going to be good hires. Sure, I'll take the guy that went to college with my offensive coordinator. This, that, and the third.
How about what?
But just to. I mean, at a certain point, it's just beyond ridiculous. It's just beyond ridiculous right now. Like you said, you got one candidate that's far more qualified, another one that's not. That's not just some personal preference. We have a good personal connection type thing.
Right.
That's just bullshit.
Exactly.
It's just bullshit.
It's discrimination.
It is.
That's the only thing you could chalk it up to be. Like,
that's all it is.
It's discrimination because this guy is nowhere near more qualified. You just like the way he looks better. I mean, that's just pretty much it. So it's sad. And, I mean, I think it's mostly sad for Brian Flores, of course, because honestly, realistically, he's not going to coach again.
Chris suicide.
He's not. I mean, it's very possible.
Not in the NFL.
Not in the NFL. Yeah. Not as a head coach, especially. It's because it's going to be a lot of blowback because of that and stuff like that. So
if anybody was going to hire him, it'd be your boys.
Yeah, I don't think the Steelers will bring him.
I mean, I don't think so neither. I'm just saying they're the one team that's demonstrated continuously, like trying to make an overt attempt to be more inclusive and hire minorities and the Rooney Rule and all this stuff.
Could be a statement move though.
It is. Oh, it is. Regardless.
Regardless, y'all gonna fuck with them. We'll fuck with them. We'll bring them on.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
That would be. I gotta ask y'all because when it first dropped and we were talking about it in the chat, I got the vibe. I mean, honestly, specifically from you, Carl, I got the vibe that you thought it was kind of a stupid idea because it was career suicide. Did I misinterpret that? Or how do you think?
I didn't think it was a stupid idea. I just knew at that point. He said,
he was fed up.
Right. And you reach that boiling point, and I'm like, okay, I guess he doesn't want to coach in the NFL. He might want to,
right,
but he has to have the understanding that realistically, it's probably not going to happen again.
He kamikaze.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. So, but I get, like, how frustrated could you possibly be to receive that text message?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I would be infuriated. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it's like, man, I done put my whole life into this. I really know football. I study this shit. It's my passion.
Y'all playing with
and
my
y'all want to play with me like this?
Yeah, y'all playing with my
life.
Y'all
want to play with me? First of all, I just got fired for no fucking reason because I wasn't aligned with the owner. That pissed me off right then and there. And then to know that I got to go sit and smile in front of these motherfuckers' faces, knowing they already made a decision anyway for somebody who's not more qualified than me. I just had a fucking head coaching job. I was just winning games.
There's no candidates out there that just had a winning record in the NFL last season.
As a head coach.
There's zero.
Nobody that you can hire.
And every season, we see losing coaches lose their job and within the next week or so, get a new job. Yeah. That fast. Yeah. What's it, Jason Garrett?
Like,
that fast.
I just see
with the Giants.
The Raiders one step back
in the same division.
The Raiders are apparently eyeing Joe Judge for the job. For fucking what? Joe Judge was awful at his job.
Did everything bad.
He did. They were all they made zero improvements under Joe Judge. They were the worst team in the NFC.
You could say they got even worse than they already was.
They might have.
You could have said they got even worse.
Well, you hiring the guy who did a QB sneak on his own.
Second and 9 on his own 4.
Sneak.
3rd and 9.
At the end of the year, you have nothing left to lose type shit.
Right.
Like, this is the guy you're hiring. He's not more qualified than some of these people out here. He just
Saquon over there wasting away. Wasting away.
I mean, that's just my whole thing about it. Is just, I don't know. It's got to be something that you could build to say, hey, these are the guys you have to hire from. How about that? The NFL can dictate that at least.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But I mean, I say the NFL can dictate that, but they can't because the NFL is the 32 owners.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the owners dictate that.
And every team is kind of like a different company.
Right.
Like if you think there's a business side. Yeah, so it's hard to tell one company, we're not going to let you hire a worse candidate. They don't care.
Right.
Hire the worst coach you can find. That helps my team.
Right.
That's a fact too.
We were joking about this a little bit yesterday, but in all honesty, this might be the most sad thing in all of this discussion from my perspective is this dude that just got hired by the Dolphins yesterday. Because it just stamps 100% approval on that they have no clue and are not going to change what they're doing. Because they hire this completely white looking dude that's whiter than I am.
Yeah.
And have they clearly have made him go out of his way to say that he's he identifies as multiracial. What the fuck does that mean? How do you identify? You're multiracial or you're not.
Well, you can identify as anything you want these days.
But nobody ever says that.
That's the first time I've ever heard.
Nobody ever says that.
You're mixed or you're not, bro. And they still won't say what the other race is.
People that are mixed say they're black.
That's true.
Let's be real. If you're really biracial, you're going to say you're black.
It's true. I mean, most of them say they're mixed, but I know what you're saying.
For the most part, you know what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You hanging with the brothers.
You hanging with the brothers.
You know what I'm saying? You dropping the N-bombs.
Definitely dropping the
You dropping them. Come on, bro.
You're not going to let that go.
Come on.
You're not going to let that go.
Right. You want to feel included. Let's be real.
Hey, I didn't know that coach was the same dude that had that clip.
He's a funny dude.
Mike Jones.
Yeah,
that was that same coach.
He's a funny dude. I actually kind of like that.
But that was kind of funny.
Like I think he'll be a good coach.
Hopefully, he's a good coach. But it was clear that the Dolphins don't understand or don't care at all.
No,
they said, "Oh, we're gonna hire this dude and make sure that you play into the multiracial thing big time, so people won't mind as much."
Yeah. And give him a little bone or something. He's multiracial.
Works out good for the 49ers though. They've received like a couple draft picks and stuff for that shit. That's the Rooney Rule incentive.
No.
Mm-hmm. The 49ers for developing the next head coach
side.
For developing a minority head coach.
I thought it was only for hiring a upper level minority. I know that they give the compensatory picks for that as well. Yep. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they get like 2 third-round picks or something like that.
So they're up there getting these draft picks off of this dude and Salah.
No, my man. My man need to
hire a real black
DNA
person.
shit that you can send off? My man need to do one of those things.
23andMe.
Whatever, where it shows your heritage and shit.
Ancestry.com.
Yeah, Ancestry. Right. He needs to do that shit.
You got the little 1%. 1%.
This is not an ad. Pay us. This is not an ad.
This is what I mean.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Sad stuff.
Wild times this offseason starting off.
It is.
Already.
It's kicked off, man.
Do we want to stick football or go to something else?
Let's talk football, man.
What you got to say? It's only one game left.
Yeah, man. Preview. Super Bowl.
We already previewed.
Was it Super Bowl 56?
I have no idea.
I'll never keep up with the numbers.
Oh, wait, Super Bowl 56?
It was 50 and 15. I could tell you that.
Well, it was 50. Then it's 56.
It was 50.
This is 56 then.
Yeah. It's 2021.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that we got that settled, I don't know. I mean, you're a breakdown guy. I have a couple of thoughts, but not like really. I'm just waiting to watch.
I mean, what?
Tell us what's going to happen,
We
bro.
pretty much know what we're getting from both teams at this point. I mean, what else is there?
My prediction is I hope the Bengals win. I have a really hard time seeing them being able to block enough to get a dub. They've been letting Burrow get sacked like crazy.
He got sacked 9 times in one game.
And they're not facing Donald and Von Miller and these other guys yet. That sounds like a recipe for disaster, but they seem like a team of destiny right now. Hopefully, Joe gets it done. Joey B.
At the same time, on the other hand, it look like destiny for the Rams to win it at home. Dr. Dre performing at halftime. You got to win this. You got to do it for LA.
It's true.
That's all making sense. It's a storyline for both sides.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly
I think it's a pretty good storyline for each side. You got Joe Burrow winning in his second season, or kind of just like the comeback story of Matt Stafford going through like all the adversity that you could possibly go through in the NFL. A lot of people would have gave up if they were Matt Stafford and like had his career. A lot of motherfuckers would have ended up like Jay Cutler type. Like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. I'm just here for the check type thing.
J. Cole was a dick. He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he never really did. But I'm just saying, it's very similar. Like,
you can tell that Matt Stafford wants to win. Like, he really wants to win.
I mean, yeah, for sure. But I mean, you go through a couple 1-16 seasons or whatever. That should change, or 1-15. It's going to change your mind about the game a little bit.
Probably.
It's hard losing, bro. Football is only fun when you're winning. It's not fun.
We've seen 2 of the greatest players of all time end their career early because they was playing in fucking Detroit.
Yeah, right. It's hard.
Crazy.
It's hard.
2 of the greatest of all time say, "No, I'm done with this shit. I'm out."
I mean, like I said, football is hard when you're losing. So, shout out to him for that. But everything's like if you look at it on paper or whatever, it just looks like the Rams are, like you said, they should dominate. You got Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. You think at least can hold down Jamar Chase some, or at least keep him from throwing the ball in his direction as much. Of course, they got T. Higgins, but all around, Rams defense is pretty solid, especially in the front seven.
Yes, sir.
And then on the other side of the ball, you would assume that the Rams are going to get busy. You know, Bengals defense is pretty good, but Cooper Kupp should do what he does. Odell Beckham really coming into his own now with the team. His role is like fully submerged. So, but it's just something about the Bengals this year that makes me say, like, why not the Bengals? Because
agreed.
How did they get here? You know what I'm saying? Like, we know how the Rams got here. They were aggressive.
Wrapping up everybody they could.
Every step of the way, they were aggressive in the goal, like pursuing a Super Bowl. We didn't see this from the Bengals they believed in them fucking selves. The entire time. Nobody else believed them.
At the beginning of the season, they had the same odds as the Jags to make it to the Super Bowl.
No way.
Right.
I was like, what?
So right now, even though
same
it's
odds as the Jags.
Rams were 4.5-point favorites, something like that. 4-point favorites, something like that.
4.5.
I mean, look, if you're the Bengals, it's the same story that you've had this entire year. Is we believe in ourselves.
Yeah,
we think we could get this done.
I certainly wouldn't give the 4.5 points. It's just that offensive line is the only reason why I have a hard time seeing the Bengals win. Everything else, look, Stafford's been on a great run. I got no disrespect for him, but I still think he didn't face the Niners are a great defense. Don't get me wrong, but the Bucs and the Cardinals before that are the two previous postseason games in this run. Those were not top-notch defenses. I think Bengals can get some sacks, can get an interception on him, and relatively contain the Rams within reason.
I would say the Rams have the star power. Donald Ramsey is, again, I tell your guys all the time, he's the best defensive back in football, hands down for sure. But collectively, the defense, the Bengals have the better defense. Playing as a unit, they have playmakers at every level. And look, I'm not saying Mike Hilton's going to lock up Cooper Kupp or nothing like that, but Mike Hilton's a really good slot corner, really, really good. Like, I think he's the best in the NFL. He's seen Cooper Kupp before and done a really good job on him. So, I mean, just don't be surprised if that's what we're looking at on Sunday,
Yeah, we know you've been praying on his downfall all year.
No, not at all. But I just,
I still got my money on Kupp to get his shit off.
Hopefully he gets a touchdown.
Possibly, but I mean, it should be a good game. As I think it'll come down to the wire. I hope the Bengals do lose. I hope they do. But
understandable.
I tell you this though, if they win, whoever the dick Tom Brady was sucking, Joe Burrow took that job over for Tom.
You got to cut it out.
He took that shit over.
You got to cut it out.
Whatever makes you feel better.
I'm just saying, like this guy fucking wins the Heisman and national
shout out to
title.
Brady, man. Let's get Brady some love. He officially retired last week after we potted. It's official now.
You're showing love.
Throwing all this hate on them.
He didn't show y'all no love. Why you showing him love?
Didn't show no love.
He don't give a fuck about y'all.
They're doing the whole situation with him. I told you they're gonna do something big for him. They ain't gonna just be no IG post.
Of course. You knew something was going to come down the line, but it was still very weird that he gave 7 pages of slides that you could scroll through on Instagram. Yes. Thank you to my trainers. Thank you to the mayor of Tampa, my favorite waitress over at that corner store. Yep. No mention of anything in New England at all. It
was a bad breakup.
That was intentional.
It was a bad breakup. What do you expect? It's still fresh. The breakup is still fresh.
It's not that
But you
fresh.
cannot erase 18 years of greatness that you did in New England. They're going to have something nice for them.
Got to. They got to. They should.
And shout out Bill. He said something to him. I forgot what it was. He gave him a shout out. Said he's one of the greatest ever to play the game.
I think he said
the greatest. Yeah, he said he's the greatest to ever play the game. So, I think
what else do you say?
I think it's still out there. I mean, of course.
I fucked this up. Sorry, Tom.
I fucked this up. Sorry, Tom. I meant to say
you were the greatest of all time.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, they're going to do something nice for me.
You need to put that shit on some merch. Build it, call some merch.
Sorry, I fucked this up.
I want the whole text exchange.
All right.
Bill hit him with the question mark exclamation times like 9 after one of the things he said. Like hit a bunch of question marks exclamation. That's way more emphasis than I would ever expect you get from Bill.
Hey, maybe
I
you give it up in
expected
the
him
text.
as a okay, period.
Yeah, right.
On every message. Now, he was very animated.
That's how you get his shit off in the text, man.
I hope so. I respect that. That's how I text, but
Hey, man.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I guess it was definitely a wild situation there.
Facts.
What else y'all got, man?
Well, we got Super Bowl predictions then?
Are we predicting today? I guess we could, huh?
We ain't going to be able to next time. Score as well.
Oh, and a score.
Yeah.
Rams 34-21.
Ooh.
Oh, you going for a blowout?
I think it starts out close and the Rams just pull away.
This is an ass whooping.
Okay. Okay.
I think the Rams gonna pull away.
Yeah, I mean, in my heart, I just said, all the logics tell me they're going to win, but I don't care. 27-23 Bengals. Let's ride.
Yeah, look, I have gone against the Bengals pretty much every game.
You're going to try to reverse jinx it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's going to do. That's exactly what he's about to do.
I'm going with Joe Burrow and the Bengals to beat the Rams.
He tried to create a win-win situation for himself.
35-32.
If they win, I was
With Joe
right.
Burrow throwing
if they
4
lose, it's like, yes, they lost. I see what you're doing,
I
bro.
hope he has the worst day of his career. This guy
I know.
needs some negativity in his career right now. It's
You
too
don't
much
want that.
positivity happening.
You don't want
for
that.
Joe Burrow right now.
This is that dude that takes that negativity and then comes back and wins
bro.
4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Let him get his 1 right now
Yeah.
and get too high off.
You think he's not going to take that shit out on y'all next year if he get their ass busted next week?
Look,
Come on, man.
I'm not.
It's gonna be a rampage all next season.
Forward.
Look.
They had a magical run. There's no concern.
Oh, you think this
going
is
forward.
one and done? Oh, you think it's over?
I think they'll be competitive. Do I think? But we have to get out of this thing where we see somebody go to a Super Bowl just because we seen like with a few quarterback. We see somebody go to a Super Bowl and we think, oh, they'll be back next year. That's
No,
not
I'm not
really
saying
how
that.
it happens.
I'm not saying he's gonna go all the way
That's
back.
not really
But I think
how
they're
it
not gonna
works.
be in the mix.
Oh no, I just said they'll be
Yeah.
competitive.
Yeah, I'm not saying
But are
they're
the
definitely
Ravens
going
going to
back.
have 27 people on IR next year? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know,
You remember when Penny was talking about all these other excuses and not having players on the field and on the court and stuff? Nobody cares is what you told him.
They won.
yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah.
they won a playoff game. Yeah, with everybody.
The Ravens?
Yeah, they won one
They
last
won
year.
one playoff game. Yeah, so
Mr.
that's cool.
Disrespect right here.
So you know,
I mean, what does that mean?
hey, the Bengals have done more than they have in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
Thus
but
far.
the Bengals weren't in the playoffs for the last 5 years.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about the teams of now in the last 2-3 years. Come on,
3 of them right now.
I mean, just saying. Look, things. That's how you stack up. You stack it up on a Super Bowl run, but it shit just doesn't happen as often as we like to think it does. Or we, like I said, we've been spoiled with Tom Brady's, Patrick Mahomes over this last the recent years or whatever. It's not everybody's. Peyton Manning. Like his first 4 or 5 years, he couldn't sniff a playoff win.
You know why though? Because that man was on the other side of the
It
ball.
wasn't just because
Because that man was there. What you mean?
He lost to a lot of different people. It wasn't just Tom Brady.
It came down to time a lot of times.
Well, came to a tackle by
is what
Ben
it is.
Roethlisberger too. I don't know if you remember that, but I mean, like I said, this is the Bengals shot. I don't see it happening or them recreating anything like this again. They'll be a good team. They'll be competitive for sure. They have the tools to do that, but it's just like this. It's just harder than you think.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I don't like you trying to make this as like you made a point though. That was like really basic.
Yeah.
You made a prediction they won't be winning the Super Bowl next year. I feel you.
Okay.
It's not as easy as
Or
as
again,
people talk
such a
about
long
it, but fair enough. They seem like they'll be one of the teams that you're talking about in the discussion for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, man, if Joe Burrow was in the AFC East, he has a chance to make a run every year. For sure. If he was in the AFC East.
Not.
he
Not,
has a chance.
motherfucker.
He has a chance. But no, he's in a much more competitive, hard-nosed division. So
Well, y'all ain't got no quarterback. Mason ain't doing shit. Talk about.
Bro, Tomlin could take snaps and we would win more games than Miami and the Jets did on the Patriots.
We ain't talking about Miami. We talking about the Bengals. We ain't talking about Miami and the Jets.
What else we got, man? Back to the Steelers, Patriots nonsense again. Who cares? Do y'all know more about what happened with Kamara?
I have no fucking idea what's up.
Yeah,
I just saw
heard
the
full
article.
story.
I saw that.
I don't know if it happened before the Pro Bowl.
After the Pro Bowl.
Or it had to happen immediately after, though. Because the whatever came out like 550. So I think it happened like the night before or something.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? Because
I don't know actually.
Leave the Pro Bowl and immediately get into some? Because I mean the Pro Bowl started at like 3:30.
It can happen.
I don't know. The Pro Bowl started at like 3:30.
Tussle can happen anywhere, anytime.
I guess, but I'm not sure the details of where it occurred. I thought one of like in a club or something.
I don't know the full story, to be honest.
Nightclub or something, yeah.
I'm thinking it would happen the night before, and then he was identified.
I mean, they are in Vegas, so the club is open all the time.
Is that where they're?
Yeah,
I
the game is in
realized
Vegas.
Vegas.
They play in the new arena they got.
I mean, we could do it next week. No, there's not really any information out or anything, but that was big news last
What about the Pro Bowl? You guys like that?
I didn't watch none of it.
Is the Pro Bowl an embarrassment?
Yes.
Yeah.
For the NFL?
It has been for a while.
You can't play football half.
It's not competitive at all.
The last Pro Bowl I remember is the Sean Taylor
That's what
killing the
everybody
punter.
remembers, yeah.
The only one that I remember from the last 15,
The punter
20
got
years.
rocked. They don't even punt the ball no more.
They ain't punt at all.
They didn't punt at all.
They ain't punt at
Yo,
all.
cancel this, bro.
They didn't punt at
Cancel
all.
it. Cancel it and set up a celebrity bowling match and have them do kind of festivities, but cancel that game.
Yeah. If they're going to do that, two-hand touch shit, they might as well just run 7-on-7.
But then
do
you're
7-on-7.
taking out so many positions.
Yeah, but at least they're going to run routes hard. They're going to try to make plays and shit because it's 7-on-7. You know what I'm saying? But why are you even running the ball? They running the ball, so all you gotta do is tap them when they get to the line. The play is over. Like, what type of shit is that?
It's definitely weird to watch. It's one of them things that's weird to watch. Like I said, football is not entertaining at half speed. You want to see somebody
at all
fucked up.
We watched them do an hour of walkthrough.
Yeah,
we watched them do.
Yeah, it was
less intense.
2 hours of walkthrough.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of the game. I saw 2 clips on Instagram because the Panthers shared Brian Burns getting to the quarterback. Literally the only 2 plays.
They got Stephon Diggs was out there playing defense on his brother. His brother was playing offense.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
They had Drewski coaching one of the teams, won't he? Was he a coach?
I didn't see that.
I saw him on the sideline.
I don't know if he might have been a coach, but he was
sideline.
definitely on the sideline.
But I don't think they'll allow him to coach no grown men for real. And they'll be like responsive to it.
It's all entertainment. Ain't nothing real.
Yeah, I mean, they got to figure something out with the Pro Bowl, but I don't know what the answer is to that, honestly, because these guys, I get it. These guys are not going to go out there and play fucking
too much money on the field.
Go 100 miles per hour and get myself hurt.
Do they even want to be there?
I think they wanted to be there for like the
accolade,
camaraderie and stuff like that. Like
the accolade.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I mean,
like,
you get the accolade regardless if you go or not.
Bowl, just give them the Pro Bowl bonus or something for being selected. Give them some extra money or some shit and let them go do what they want with that week.
Yeah,
if I was a player, like, give me the accolade, honor that I was a Pro Bowler, but
it was the NBA did, making an incentive every quarter to hit it. Whoever wins the quarter gets this much money to whoever they want to give it to, or something like that.
You gotta do something.
Some type of incentive every quarter, so they have to play for something.
You gotta make it more competitive somehow. Like so, but I don't know what they do with it, but they're not gonna get rid of it because it does generate a little bit of money at least.
Does it?
For the NFL.
I guess it does.
Yeah, you got people that's coming to the games. Somebody, you gonna see a bunch of stars here. Somebody's gonna...
that will sell tickets.
I'm telling you, you could make more off a celebrity basketball game with NFL. Well, I mean, I guess they don't want any other sports being played by these guys.
Right.
I don't know. Something, though. Got to be different. This sucks.
It's pretty bad, but hey, it is what it is, I guess, for them.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get some music.
Yeah.
Music time.
Big new music this week. I didn't listen to it.
There's a lot of shit dropped for real. A whole lot of shit. Pretty busy week.
Yeah, I fuck with CM10, man. I fuck with it.
Free game.
Yo Gotti dropped the project.
double
It's
disc.
pretty long
in DSP.
Yeah, it's 2 parts, right?
A side, B side, one called Free, other half called Game.
Yeah.
I think the Free one is about most of the trap songs, the hard joints. The Game is the more soulful records where you giving some knowledge and shit. This shit hard though.
Yeah, I mean, look, ultimately, like I said, I fuck with Gotti a lot, man. I think he's one of those kind of like underrated figures in rap, honestly.
I can see that.
People kind of forget about Yo Gotti a lot, but I mean, he's given the game a lot, and like, I just feel like he's one of those guys, like, because I wasn't a fan initially of Yo Gotti at all. Like, everybody was on that cocaine music.
I used to fuck with Gotti early.
I wasn't a fan initially, but I don't know. I listened to it. I'm like, oh yeah, he got his message, but you can also tell like he got that dedication to the craft type shit too. Like, you know what I'm saying? He not gonna put out no bullshit.
Right.
Gotti gonna put out a high quality album.
Almost like a
At the
Ross.
same time. Yeah, similar
I can
to
see
Ross
that
with
without even knowing the music like that. I can see that. Like, you can just tell the way he carries it. He has a plan of what he's going to be doing.
He like a Memphis little Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like a miniature version of Jay-Z in Memphis.
Is he the man in Memphis? I guess you could say.
Oh man! Oh shit!
Little
You
Jay
might have something.
Little Jay-Z. I guess you was saying, yeah, because he's putting people on. He's got the label. He's got the artists, putting people in position. So yeah, I can see that.
And he ain't run shit. I mean, he has been.
Yeah, but I fuck with the album hard. I've been bumping it every day since it dropped.
Moses played a few songs before we got started. I'm probably gonna check it out.
There's a lot of fucking songs on there,
But they ride though. The whole album is only an hour long to be so many songs.
That's
so
not
it's
bad.
pretty quick, easy listen.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And I didn't play anything that I felt like I needed to skip. I felt like everything was solid.
Same.
That's good.
Same. Solid album.
Yeah, I fuck with it. 2 Chainz.
With Gotti.
Oh yeah.
He's had a few cool little ideas, right? What was the initial thing where he was offering to let somebody on the album?
Yeah, he did. I don't know who the guy is, but it's a song called "Dollar for Dollar" on there, where it's pretty much him going back and forth with another artist. And the thing was, he put it out, just put out his vocals.
Had spaces in it.
Yeah, like
go like back and forth with him and rapping.
Right. He said that like, yo,
wow, that's
all you got, you could take this song and whoever, we're going back and forth on the track, whoever do the best verse, I'll put you on my album. That was the competition that he was running.
Yeah.
And then what you shared last night, I think was really dope.
Before you even say that, I heard some shit to that. The dude that ended up being on his album, apparently, like, I think in 2020, he had put out a song under CMG. So it might be somebody he already had signed that he picked.
Because I was
so it was just a play for his artist.
I definitely that, because I was listening to the song, like, ain't no way this is the best verse.
Right.
Ain't no way this dude.
Right.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
This is the best. You didn't listen to them all.
Out of everybody?
Right. Ain't no way.
So do you think this follow-up offer was like,
right.
people were not happy with that?
Yeah.
All right. So he put up, never been done before. Every artist that put a verse on Dollar for Dollar, you can have the song. You can upload it, put it on YouTube, DSPs, and you make the money off of it. I 100% own the masters, and I'm giving y'all universal clearance to use my verse on the song.
Which is dope still, too.
It's a really cool idea.
Imagine putting that on your own project.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
At the same time,
I didn't think
about
there's
a million other motherfuckers putting that shit on their project.
Yeah, for sure. But
that's the same song.
But who cares?
That's what I was thinking, though, is like, at first I was like, this is a dope idea, but if everybody's got this verse, like, it's not as special anymore. But if you think about it from like a nobody artist trying just to get garner any type of attention, and you can put that on your album, it will at least get somebody to be like, oh, at least let me check that joint out.
Right. You never know.
It's a cool idea either way.
I think it's dope. It's a good little lookout for the like unsigned artists out there.
Little Memphis Jay-Z out here.
Yeah. No, but seriously though, I was listening to that shit. I'm like, how the fuck did this dude end up on this song? Because this shit, I'm not saying it's terrible or nothing, but it's not great.
Yeah.
It ain't.
You know the internet gonna find the shit. They gonna find out some bullshit in it. They found it quick. He was signed 2 years ago.
And it's weird because he didn't put his name on the track list, I don't think.
No.
Whoever.
Really?
No, he didn't put his name, because I was looking at like, yo, who is this guy? He didn't put his name on the track list.
Hey, you get me on the record. I guess I can't be too picky. You know what I mean,
Yeah, it's literally just say Yo Gotti.
He on there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gotti. That's dope.
Yeah.
Dope shit he doing.
2 Chainz was the other one though. That was the other big release.
Dope don't sell itself.
Thoughts?
Hard title.
I've liked the last couple
Like the
2
album
Chainz
cover, too.
albums, but I haven't listened to this one.
Y'all know I'm a big 2 Chainz fan.
Yes, sir.
And I feel like there's a bunch of layup songs on here.
Uh-oh.
Like, I don't feel like he put his best foot forward on this. And I seen him do a couple interviews, and he's saying this isn't his last album on Def Jam, but his album he's putting out, Collie Grove 2 with Wayne. Mm-hmm. That's going to be his last album on Def Jam. So I think he's just trying to get out of his contract.
Checking boxes.
Yeah, getting these albums out the way so he can be free from Def Jam and do his own thing.
He's got every young, hot artist out right now on there. I didn't even notice this.
Was kind of even more so lets me know this is a bunch of plug and play. You know, he's got relationships with all these guys to get records with him and da-da-da-da-da. It was some hard records. I like a few songs on there, but I could just tell it was just like, I can do this. I can make, 2 Chainz can make these songs in his sleep. This is what he does. It's easy shit for him.
Right. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's not that grown man music that you expect from a 2 Chainz album.
Yeah.
You don't have those records on here.
And that's what I want to hear.
You just got the 2 Chainz
like
pops.
Gotti was doing on that second half of the album with them soulful beats. That's what I need from Chainz.
2 Chainz ain't get into that bag, and that's kind of what disappointed me. It didn't sound like a
because he usually does.
Yeah, that's what makes it an album is to
Yeah.
take you to these different places.
Yeah.
This is just all like, we in Titty Boy world type shit.
That
you know
was,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's why I didn't like him early on, was because I didn't care for that. And then as he got older and the album started getting more like well-rounded, Pretty Girls Love Trap got fire on there.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah,
Fire. That was kind of the one that changed my mind on him.
There's none of those type of records. And you can tell because he don't even have like, normally you have like a female singing on some of these shits. He don't have none of that.
Got Sway Lee.
He don't.
And Jacquees.
And he got Jacquees. But this is the issue that I have with sometimes with these features is using the feature incorrectly. When I see Sway Lee on your track list, he better be doing the motherfucking hook.
I think he did though.
He did not.
He didn't do the hook on it?
No, 2 Chainz.
He was singing though.
And Sway Lee does a verse. This is not what I came for. This is not what I envision when I see Sway Lee on the feature. I want to hear him on the hook. You misused your feature on this one. That's how I feel.
Misused.
Yeah, that's a.
He got Stove Guy Cooks on the track though.
I saw that and I just thought it was very interesting. I haven't even listened to it. Who else was on it? I saw
that dude Simba.
names.
When I sent you, he doing his freestyles and shit.
I didn't like that song.
It was. I was expecting it to be a lot better when I heard it. I thought they was gonna really go crazy. It was kind of like it was all right.
Was
I
he
like the
trying
concept.
to like show that he could rap with those guys too? Not that like he's still trying to prove that, but was that the concept?
It was supposed to be one of those type of records, try and get that shit out. I mean, it was all right.
Stove Guy, look.
Stove Guy, that dude.
I like a few songs of his, like a lot.
Right.
He's a weird dude though.
Yeah.
He makes songs that
he has
hate
a very
at the same time.
Very unique flow. And
hardly a flow sometimes.
Yeah. But he be getting this shit off.
He does.
But it's still dope. They got them on the album. Them
For sure.
2 artists. They're 2 new artists in the game right now trying to come up. So it's hard.
I mean, the only song I really like fuck with heavy, I guess it already been out, the $1 Million Worth of Game.
I like that.
With him and
That's a hard
42
record.
Dugg.
Yeah.
That's the hardest song on here.
I like that
to
Better
me.
Back joint, the first record. Better Back joint was hard to me.
Yeah, I don't
It's a typical 2 Chainz
I'm not
record.
saying it's not bad, but I'm saying like overall, like that's the most standout record to me is that one right there. I thought the one with Roddy Ricch was just all right. I thought it was pretty good actually.
It was cool.
That one was hard.
Like the Little Baby joint too. That beat was hard.
Yeah, the beat's hard. I don't know, Baby ain't give it to me on this one. I ain't really fucking with
yo.
Balls.
I mean, you know what I mean.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, but it was a layup. I had to.
Yeah,
he
he
didn't do it on this one, man.
I hear that.
Well, it was cool. I mean,
nailed it in.
I am excited to hear that Collie Grove album. I kind of liked that last one, the first one, him and Wayne joint. It was cool. It was kind of wild beats on there. They was really taking it there on some different type of beats, but they was going crazy though.
I can't even remember it, to be honest with you.
It was a little quick hitter.
I just remember it happened.
I
came and
remember
went.
the album,
Came and
but
went.
I can't remember any tracks off of it that's like,
It came and went.
oh yeah. What y'all think about? Do y'all see this Roddy Ricch shit that's going on?
What do you do?
Yeah,
do a fit.
He's deleted all of his social media accounts and shit like that.
He put up a snippet.
Oh,
Which I think is pretty good. Y'all want to hear this shit?
Yeah,
Have you heard the snippet?
I did. I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think it was that good though.
I liked it.
Take my soul, take your time. Take my steps, I never stutter. How many times that I lose it in heavy? With a whole block, they flock me going town. Many times that I blow it back on.
Just sound hard to me.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what I listened to that I didn't like before.
You like this part?
It sounds really good.
That just sound hard.
Maybe it's just being through the speakers.
So what happened? People didn't like that shit?
They were giving him shit again.
I mean, just straight spamming his shit. Like,
Right.
we want the old Roddy. Just unnecessary. Like, I was like, if he had a record like this on his last album, it might have saved it for me. This sounds good. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That sounded really good. I don't know what I heard
That's
before.
the thing about Roddy is like, you want to hear him stretch his vocals and shit like that as much as possible and all of this stuff. Like, and especially on his like real slow, kind of like melodic type beats and stuff. Cause I feel like that's where he, what's that one song on the first shit that I was thinking of? But I feel like that's what he does best ultimately is that. And then he's never going to be this super lyrical dude. Like you
when he
can
get
cancel
his
that.
hum bag. I like the hum bag.
To a certain extent.
He is one of the few rappers that I like. I want to hear you sing.
Right.
Right.
Rap with it too, but I want to hear you sing on the song.
Just, I don't know. Like I said, lean
People
on.
killing him though. I'm trying. Maybe it's because of that last album. Maybe.
Yeah, I
don't
feel
know.
like it almost feels like people have turned on him.
Yeah, it's like they gonna give him
fully
a
at
hard
this
time
point.
regardless now.
Getting that Rush shit from early on.
He got to just say fuck the internet, man. Just use that shit as a tool. People gonna do this shit regardless. Just say fuck the internet and just keep on trying to put out music. The song I was referring to earlier was a shit. Fucking Perfect Time. That's like one of my favorite.
That was one of my favorites.
Off that
too.
last album. It's
Yeah.
just because, I don't know, he stretched his vocals so much and stuff like that throughout it. And then like the lyrics behind it had a meaning as well too. That's kind of Roddy Ricch that people fuck with.
He reminded
Ultimately.
me of Young Thug on that song.
Yeah. He got Young Thug, then he get into his Future bag a little bit too. So, like I said, I like the snippet overall. Like I was like, I don't know what people tripping over, but I think he just gotta just say fuck social media, stay in the studio, and drop that Feed the Streets 3.
He's not very present on social media, is he?
Nah,
No, it's
not at all.
That's what I thought. So I think that could hurt to your detriment too. Like it's good to not be present on social media when things are going well because you got the mysteriousness and that kind of thing. But when you put out an album that doesn't do well and you're not like also somebody that's engaging with fans and stuff beforehand, from like some whack fans' perspectives, they're like, yo, he's not giving us anything.
Yeah.
We're not getting anything fun from him online. He's not giving good music. And I don't know if maybe that's why they turned on him. But it's so weird for somebody, even if you didn't like the last album, like we didn't care for it. I just can't imagine like fully turning on this dude.
Right.
He's a new artist still.
Right.
I don't understand it.
But it makes me think like, what made him want to put the snippet out? Like, is he really trying to? Is he second guessing himself?
I think he cares a lot.
That's where.
I mean, he responded when he got the backlash from the album that he was going to do better. Like he hear y'all, he hear all the shit people's talking about it. So obviously he's listening for that feedback.
I get that, but just say your bag. Don't even put like these feelers out and stuff like that you try to do. Like, don't second guess yourself.
Yeah.
Agree.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Like, I don't know. I feel like that right there.
But it also makes sense though for him to feel like that.
I mean, yeah,
after having that big explosion of a first album, so then you come back with a second album and everybody hate it.
And he is super
it's like,
young artist.
He probably feel like, I'm doing what I do.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty much doing the same thing I did on my last song. You probably don't understand.
Not quite, but yeah.
I mean, per se, he's doing what he does.
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't expect more than what he always given us. I don't think he's going to take it to another level. I think this is who Roddy's going to be.
I don't know. I think we're all capable of growing, and so
I mean,
yeah, do that.
But
I think a decent strategy would be if he would just crush a couple features.
Right.
He
Yeah.
didn't do a whole lot of features in between the long time in between the two albums.
Not a ton.
If
He
you
did
hop out now, kill a couple features, like the narrative starts to change back again. Then you drop whatever mixtape, album, whatever he's doing to already follow up.
Hard ass record too.
That works too.
Drop a fucking banger. This
That
is you,
works,
Roddy
too.
Ricch. This is what you can do.
You're on the West Coast. Go holler at Kendrick. It's out of here.
He don't even have to do that.
Go holler.
Link up
Like,
with your
you
boy.
get one of those, then people will be like, all right.
Let me tell you,
Okay.
link up with your boy. Y'all make a hit every time.
Who's your boy? Oh, Mustard.
Yeah, just link up with your boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop a fucking
He's
banger.
going to be there regardless. He's signed to him, so.
Is he signed to him?
Yeah, 10 summers.
I didn't know that.
Me neither.
Yeah, I thought he's signed to Atlantic.
Yeah, but I think it's like.
Through
it's
Atlantic
like
type
the-
shit.
yeah,
It's like a little
Yeah.
co-sign deal or whatever.
Yeah.
What about that Meek Mill shit and Roddy? Did we talk about that last week?
We didn't. I know you're just talking about that.
Oh yeah, you were just telling us about it Saturday. I hadn't heard anything.
I heard about it, though.
Meek Mill just, like I said, man, this Twitter is not this guy's friend, man. He's just going on Twitter, going on these crazy rants about how Atlantic Records is like screwing him out of money, and they won't let him drop another album for like 9 months or something like that. But he got to feed his family, and they stole Roddy Ricch away from him or something. And I don't know. I don't know what the story
They came to him while he was in jail, while he was locked up, trying to like get him to be a part of Dream Chasers when they was first trying to put Roddy out or some shit like that. And then after that, I guess it didn't work out or some shit like that. Roddy, that's when Roddy just blew up. So they was like, we don't need you to do this no more. He's already a superstar now.
Right.
So it was one of those situations where you've seen this a lot with new artists. A label will attach them to a group, Dream Chasers or a crew, to help blow them up. But then you have a situation like Roddy where he blows up without it.
Yeah,
So
but
it's like, we don't need him to attach you to that no more.
Meek felt like he was owed something from Roddy Ricch for some reason. Like
He felt like he was owed something from the label. He said specifically, it's not about Roddy. Roddy don't owe me that. The label is
But I'm
supposed to
just
give me
saying,
that
like,
cut, yeah.
I don't get why he feels like the label will owe him anything for Roddy Ricch. We don't like. When we think of Roddy Ricch, we don't think of Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit doesn't cross my mind.
I mean, yeah, he did have him on a lot of his early shit. Meek has done that a lot with a lot of art. He did it with Tory. He did it with Vori.
Roddy on Meek Mill songs?
I think one of his Dream Chaser joints, I want to say.
I didn't know that.
He's done that a lot with different artists. Okay. And I feel like every time it turns into a situation where it doesn't end up working out, or they leave, or some other, like I think Tory ended up doing his own thing. They had a little beef for tension and shit. So Meek has, for his whole career, he's always found that new high artist, and he puts them on the record or puts them on his album or some shit like that. So I can see why he feel like that a little bit. At the same time, he said he's mad because the label made him pop without him. So he want to cut it. It's like, nah, they did it without you, bro. He didn't need Dream Chasers.
I don't get
so
that
it's like,
part.
you can't be expecting something from it now when they made him pop without you.
I've never heard a Roddy song talking about Dream Chasers or shouting out Dream Chasers and no shit like that.
But they got
if Meek is so good at finding his talent, he needs to talk to Ross.
Yeah.
Talk to Ross and figure out how do I do this?
At the same time, I don't know how many conversations they're having.
Shit's rocky with him right now.
Yeah, I think he's just...
Meek wasn't even on his album.
I did notice that.
So
who's Meek's friends?
Twitter.
Everybody deserted this dude?
People on Twitter.
It's tough out here. It's tough.
Like I said, you gotta stop. And like, I don't know. I just feel like it's always weird, especially when like you're talking business on Twitter and stuff like that. It's like, how about you just go handle it?
It never looks like real business.
Right.
I think he felt like he was giving people
operate.
game on how this shit works or some shit like that. Maybe he's thinking it from that perspective.
Probably so.
I think he ended it with like, you young boys, just make sure you got your shit in order and da-da-da, and don't let them. He's like, he said specifically, speak out on this type of shit while you up. Don't wait till you down, because then you looking like you salty and bitter. And I think he's saying from his perspective, he's probably good with money.
Yeah, he got.
As far as like he said, so it's like he said, I'm speaking out on this like while I'm up, because if I was down, y'all would be saying I'm just bitter and da da da. But I'm good. I don't need them for shit. This type of shit.
Why do record labels? Why do you think they tell people like you can't put out any more music right now?
Well, Meek's situation, this is his last project. So they're trying to hold that off as long as possible.
Oh, just trying to keep them on.
Yeah.
Okay, keep him on the label.
Yeah, because his album just dropped a couple months ago. They're trying to let that ride out, get all they can get from that.
But don't they get all they can get from that regardless? Or they're not trying to have him dilute it or with anything else?
Exactly.
Is that what it is?
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah. I was thinking it doesn't make any sense because
I said 9 months.
they're getting, yeah.
That's a pretty long time. I guess they're saying like you can only drop one album a year type shit.
Pretty much. They gonna let you just toss out a bunch of albums just to get out of your contract.
Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's essentially that's the Frank Ocean rule. They switched that up. That's the Frank Ocean rule because he did that shit.
Yeah.
Just to get out of his contract. They ain't letting nobody else getting that shit off again. Nobody dropped 2 albums the same day.
Right.
Just so he get out your contract. He dropped this album to get out of his contract, then dropped the real album when he was independent, like the next day.
That was smooth.
Should have never happened again. The labels will never get got like that again.
Right, for sure.
Never.
Oh, no.
That's just wild, though.
We only got a few more minutes here. Anything else important?
Kanye crazy.
He is.
Kanye crazy.
I know y'all seen that clip or whatever talking about he predicted everything that's happening right now in all of the lights.
Yeah, I did hear that. He did say that.
Bro,
that whole verse
funny.
is really speaking about
everything.
spot
on.
What is it?
It's like restraining order. Can't see my daughter.
Yeah,
her grandmother, brother hate me in that order.
Yeah.
Public visitation.
Yeah. Like everything he's going through. He said that shit.
He didn't even have no kids then.
It's a fucking prophet. He didn't have none of that. He didn't have Kim or nothing when he dropped that. I think he was still with fucking Amber Rose.
If that, yeah. I mean, wow. I didn't think
that's wild.
But I mean, he's been going, normal Kanye rant type shit, right?
Kinda. It's different now because it's about the kids and shit.
Yeah, it's weird when the kids are involved, man. I don't think he looks good again.
It's about TikTok.
That was one of them.
Didn't it start with TikTok? He's saying like,
that's one of his
they have my daughter using TikTok against my will.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta relax.
That's one of the biggest things he's standing on, but like, that's not it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's not the problem.
He's grasping for anything that he can to like get some control back because he's lost it all.
A full control issue. Kanye is obviously a person that's been in control of everything in his life for who knows how long. And now he's in a position where he has no control.
Kim came back and said something like, I'm the main provider and caretaker of the children. And Kanye said, who said you was the main provider?
What you mean main provider?
What you mean main provider? That shit really
I didn't see
he
that.
was like, no, fuck that. I pay all the bills. But
one of the text exchanges I saw was like, he said it was Kim's cousin or something. And she like offered some sort of support for him or whatever. And then she was like, this other dude is trying to buy Yeezys off StockX. Is that a good idea? And he's like, don't ask me about no fucking Yeezys.
Yeah. That was a good way.
She did try to slip that shit in.
That shit in there because she was like, yo, I'm not going to ask him directly about no Yeezys. I'm
say, about no fucking Yeezys
should we
right
buy
now?
them off of StockX or... And she was probably hoping he'd be like, no, I got
I'll just send him over.
I'll send him over. Or, I can get them to you more direct. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pay the super high price. So ask me about no fucking Yeezys.
Hilarious, bro.
Hey, did y'all see this last one he said, though? He said, yesterday, Kim accused me of putting a hit out on her. So let me get this straight. I begged to go to my daughter's party and I'm accused of being on drugs. Then I go play with my son and I take my Acura graphic novels and I'm accused of stealing now? What the fuck is that fucking wild? I'm being accused of stealing.
Crazy, man.
Being accused of putting a hit on her. These ideas could actually get someone locked up. They play like that with a black man's life. Whether it's, he spelled weather like the weather. Whether it's getting them free or getting them locked up. I'm not playing about my black children anymore. He's motherfucking hot.
And that's what he said. He said his black children.
My black children.
It goes back to that biracial shit.
Yeah, they black. They black.
But no, it's like
it's just making everything
why'd you have to
worse.
put that in there?
It's making everything worse.
Why do you have to put that in there about black children?
It's really sad because it's usually you expect this type of behavior from the Kardashians.
Yeah.
And he's actually getting the one that's giving it up and they being quiet as shit about it.
When you're making the Kardashians look good.
Right.
This is not a good thing.
It's not a good place to be, bro. Not a good place to be.
Kim probably looks like a great mother right now.
She legitimately does.
Right.
Like she's not even responding to him that I'm aware of, at least not super publicly the same way. Like, he really looks bad. Looks bad right now.
Yeah,
but you can tell he's off one.
gracefully. She's been supportive of him. Been going to his shows and everything out there. Filed for divorce.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what's going on behind the scenes, but she's doing everything publicly to make it look like what we see right now.
And they're bringing the Kardashian show back on Hulu.
Perfect time.
People thought it was over. No, to run it back. We just on another network now.
Just had to get picked up.
Shit crazy.
Well, anything else here before we get these samples?
Nah.
You got samples?
I got them.
I do have a sample.
All right, bet. Well, stay tuned. Like I said, we're going to be posting some information as soon as we've got exact times and stuff of when we get the G.I. Wonder interview out. But that is coming soon. We're excited about that. We appreciate y'all listening. If you're on the YouTube, peace out. If you're on the audio, them samples are coming.
Peace.
For sure.